Hyun-Joo is officially appointed as the first female South Korean Prime Minister. The chair of a U.S. investment fund staunchly denies allegations of financial wrongdoings. A Nigerian national has been arrested for allegedly using counterfeit bills to con small businesses.
Hello and welcome to KBS World News Today. It's Thursday, April 20th. The country has its first female prime minister. Han-Myung-suk officially began her tenure Thursday after receiving a certificate of appointment from President Roh Moo-hyun.
The first female prime minister in the government's 58-year history suggests a philosophy of harmony and mediation on state affairs.
이견이 있다 하더라도 그것을 화합하고 조정해 나가는 어울림의 항해를 해야 된다고 말씀을 드렸습니다.
The National Assembly approved her nomination by a vote of 182 to 77, with 5 abstentions or invalid votes. The main opposition party also expressed satisfaction over the new prime minister.
안정적 개혁이라는 국민의 기대에 걸맞는 국민 통합형 내각의 진영을 제대로 갖추게 됐습니다.
여권 신장의 상징이기도 하고 또 한국 정치 발전의 또 다른 쾌거라고 볼 수 있습니다.
The new prime minister got right to work on her first day after receiving her appointment certificate from President Roh Moo-hyun.
The International Monetary Fund has raised its projected economic growth rate for South Korea to 5.5% this year. The figure would be one of the highest growth rates in the world, alongside projections for Hong Kong, Singapore, and Iceland. The chairman of the U.S. investment fund Lone Star denied charges made against the fund during a Wednesday news conference. But John Graken's comments have drawn criticism from some South Korean quarters that he's attempting to pass the buck on Lone Star's alleged wrongdoings.
Lone Star Chairman John Graken held a press conference on Wednesday. When questioned on whether he was going to pay due taxes from the sale of Korea Exchange Bank in 2003, Graken said he would obey the authorities' decision.
And if it is determined that these taxes are owed, Lone Star will pay them in full.
But he also flatly denied charges that have plagued the equity fund thus far. These charges include allegations that the fund manipulated the Korea Exchange Bank's capital adequacy ratio to justify its original sale to Lone Star.
We didn't have any involvement on this calculation before we took control of the bank, and we can't comment.
Graken also placed responsibility for the fund's illegal activities currently under investigation on the shoulders of former Lone Star Korea CEO Stephen Lee.
We recognize our own failure to properly supervise Mr. Lee.
Graken also said his fund would remain in Korea and invest in domestic firms even after it sells the troubled Korea Exchange Bank to Kookmin Bank.
Police have arrested a Nigerian national who they accuse of swindling a small business owner in Seoul out of thousands of dollars. The strange ruse apparently involved fake U.S. dollars, a man disguised as a Swiss diplomat, and lots of black ink.
2 weeks ago, a Nigerian claiming to be a Swiss diplomat paid a visit to a small business owner in Seoul. The Nigerian showed a bag filled with a bundle of black paper and said he wanted to purchase $5 million worth of products. The visitor said the papers were American dollars specially treated to prevent theft, and then wiped off the black dye from the paper with the chemical he brought. After seeing U.S. banknotes emerge from underneath the dye, the amazed businessman gave the Nigerian $15,000 for lodging expenses.
해외 시장 개척을 통하는데 상당히 어려움이 있거든요. 우리 제품을 산다고 했을 때는 누구나 상당히 호감을 갖게 될 거예요.
But the dollar bills all turned out fake, except for a few real notes on top of the bundle. The Nigerian got caught when he asked for $60,000 for the chemical. Police arrested the 36-year-old swindler for fraud and are searching for 2 accomplices.
Dokdo is a chain of small rocky islets in the East Sea, bereft of most civilized comforts, but rich in marine resources. But now 2,000 Koreans have volunteered to list themselves as being permanent residents of the windswept islets.
Dokdo is made up mostly of rocks and is devoid of underground water and thus has long been uninhabited. Nevertheless, 1999 kicked off a movement to relocate addresses to Dokdo. In the first year alone, 78 members making up 20 households moved their family registries to these uninhabited islets. Last year notched over 900 addresses changed to Dokdo, and now the number of Dokdo residents is about to break the 2,000 mark.
예약하지 이거라도 여러 사람들 많이 해가지고 막 이게 세계적으로 알리져서라도 일본 그 야욕이라 그럴까요? 이런 건 없애야 될 거 아닙니까?
Some argue that drinking water and pleasant living environments should be provided to allow civilians to live there year-round.
유인도가 되는 게 가장 급하고요. 유인도가 됐을 때 조그만 몇 명의 상부 인구라도 살 수 있는 주거 공간이 만들어졌으면 가장 좋은 방법이라고 생각합니다.
Experts, however, have plans to run either tourism facilities or fishermen shelters at all times, as well as create a civilian maintenance team to oversee the facilities while living on the islets.
The first Korean astronaut will join the crew of the Russian spaceship Soyuz in 2008. The Korea Aerospace Research Institute will receive astronaut applications on its website through July 14th. Windy and rainy weather continues to prevail throughout the nation. Gangwon province has seen snow, while Seoul and several other areas have been hit by hail. Soccer player Lee Dong-guk successfully underwent surgery in Germany on a ruptured ACL. Soccer analysts say that Togo, South Korea's first opponent in the World Cup soccer finals, is at its most dangerous in the final 15 minutes of a game when players are nearing exhaustion. The findings mean Korea's athletes must focus on endurance and stamina if they want to emerge unscathed from the World Cup's first round in Germany.
The national soccer team has completed an analysis of Togo, its first opponent in the World Cup in June. As shown here, Togo tends to score the most with 15 minutes left in the game. Among the 22 goals Togo scored in World Cup qualifiers, 7 came in the 75th minute of a game or afterwards. Thus, Togo takes advantage of its opponent's mistakes near the end of the game when fatigue robs players of strength and concentration. Stamina determines the level of concentration, and the analysis showed South Korean players lack strong endurance. Early this year, the team traveled around the globe for overseas training and exhibition games. Since their return to their respective leagues in South Korea and abroad, players have sought to secure a spot on the World Cup roster rather than increase stamina.
한 달도 채 안 남았는데 이제 K리그에서 또 더 좋은 모습을 보여야 뽑힐 수 있다는 그런 감독님의 말씀이 있었기 때문에.
Experts say the team is considerably weaker in stamina than its 2002 counterpart. Then coach Gus Hiding had players undergo special training to raise their endurance. The Korea Football Association must make higher team stamina a priority to ensure a repeat of success in the World Cup.
Park Chan-ho won his first victory of the season in the San Diego Padres' 13-4 trouncing of the Colorado Rockies on Wednesday. The win was Park's 107th overall and lowered his earned run average to 4.89. Disabled filmmakers have grabbed the spotlight with movies that document the travails and triumphs of their daily lives. Some of the films made in 2005 have screened at multiplex theaters in Seoul and Busan. Here's a closer look.
A documentary film is being made. In this scene, filmmakers are interviewing disabled people who volunteer at a yoga class. The filmmaking crew, as well as their documentary subjects, all have disabilities. But physical or mental challenges cannot dim their passion for their art.
지금 화면이 좀 어둡거든. 나중에 할 때 조명 좀 더 신경 써가지고 밝게 하는 방법을 한번 찾아보고.
The 5 crew members are amateurs. They all took special filmmaking classes for the disabled the previous year. Despite shortcomings in film equipment and budget, they managed to churn out 6 films last year alone. One of those won the Critics Award at the 2005 Busan Independent Film Festival.
이 영화를 통해서 비장애인과 장애인들 사이에 편견의 벽도 많이 없어진 것 같고요.
The movies of this filmmaking collaborative also screened in Seoul and Busan, honoring Disabled Persons Day with their extraordinary craft.
The Yeongsanjae ceremony, which is a Buddhist ritual reenacting Sakyamuni Buddha's sermon on Mount Yeongsan, was reenacted at the Roman Catholic Myeongdong Cathedral ahead of Buddha's birthday on May 5th. The Peace Broadcasting Corporation invited Buddhist monks to the ceremony, which has been designated an intangible cultural property. And here are the economic indicators for April 20th. That's it for KBS World News Today. Thanks for watching.